What's up, Awake? We're so excited to have you guys with us this week and so thankful that you're staying engaged with our student ministry. We're excited about the weeks to come, and this week we really want to jump into Jesus Is Week 3. So this week we're going to be talking all about truth. What truth is, what it isn't, and the opposite of truth is what? Lying, right? And so I want you to think in your life, have you ever been caught in the lie? What does it feel like? Are you a person that likes to double down once you're caught? Or are you a person who will admit it immediately and try to make things right again? I was thinking it would be kind of interesting this week. There's a lot about fake news and misinformation out there to show you some headlines from the past year and us to play a little game. So in this game, I really want you at home to be thinking, man, is this headline real or fake? And I'll reveal it after I read it. So the first one is this. Boeing's CEO admits the company made a mistake by including an automatic self-destruct function in all of its 737 airplanes. What do you think? Is that the truth or is that a lie? It's a headline from The Onion, which is a satire news organization. Here's the next one. Maize with cheese in center enters human trials this week. Truth or lie? Are people running around trying to get through a maze to get some cheese? That one's fake as well as from The Onion. Here's another. Gillette recalls their razors because they're too sharp. This is actually crazy. This one's actually true. It happened earlier this year. Another one. There's a report that all U.S. spacecraft will be replaced by high-speed trains, at least by 2030. It's another lie, fake headline from the Babylonian Bee, one of my favorites. One last one. Bear breaks into a car and drives it down a hill in Colorado. Truth or lie? That one's actually true. It happened over this past year. I want you to really work through this question. What is truth? What is truth? With so many things that are deceiving us and throwing us off, it's so important for us to define this in our lives. So if you have your Bibles with you, I'd encourage you to open up to John 18. And in John 18, we see a really interesting story. Basically, Jesus is arrested. The Jewish people want him executed. And the Roman leadership, who's actually in charge of the country, can't really decide what he did wrong. And so Jesus is having this back and forth with Pontius Pilate, who's the governor at that time. But Jesus says this line in verse 36 that I think is very important. Pontius asks again, why are you arrested? What have you done? Jesus says, my kingdom is not an earthly kingdom. If it were, my followers would fight to keep me from being handed over to the Jewish leaders. But my kingdom is not of this world. Pilate said, so you are a king? Jesus responded, you say I am a king. Actually, I was born and came into the world to testify the truth. And all who love the truth recognize what I say is true. And here's the key right here. Pontius asked this question. What is truth? Pilate asked. Then he went out again to the people and told them, he is not guilty of any crime. And if you know that story well, the crowd kind of got a mob mentality and kind of forced Pilate into a decision. Pilate wasn't a good leader and decided, okay, this is what they want. I'm going to let him be executed, wash my hands of this situation. But that question, what is the truth, really rings into my mind, because today I guarantee you at some point in your life, you've been asking, what is the truth? We've all asked it. I've asked it myself. There's a lot of different truths that we could be seeking. What is the truth about who I am? What is the truth about what's going on in the world? What should I believe about this certain argument? But when we get to the bottom of it, I want you to hear Jesus' words in John 8. Jesus said to the people who believed in him, you are truly my disciples if you remain faithful to my teachings, and you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. And so really, when we talk about Jesus being truth, I think there's two ideas that we need to talk about. The first is that we're free. If you're in a place where you feel like you're running or trying to figure out who you are or trying to figure out what you need to be doing on a day-to-day basis, there's freedom in knowing the truth of Jesus. And there's freedom in knowing that he sets us free. The second thing is this. When it comes to truth, we have peace and hope. I don't know about you, but there are times where if things are going out of control, I can feel a lack of peace and a lack of hope. And I would encourage you to remember this. When you seek out the truth of Jesus in your life, we have peace and hope. I want to leave you with one last thought today as we talk about truth and who it is in Jesus. There's a passage in John 14. In John 14, verse 6, Jesus says this claim about himself. I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one can come to the Father except through me. The only way that we can find that peace, that hope, that freedom that we desire is through the love of Jesus and through the love of the Father. And so I really want to ask you today, what do you believe about that truth? Is it a lie? Is it the truth? For you, you have to decide in your life if what Jesus said about himself is true. And I think that's the most important thing in this time. What do you believe about Jesus? I'm here to tell you, when we ask the question, what is truth? I think it's simple as this: Jesus is truth. Jesus is the thing that we can put our trust in, put our hope in, put our peace in. And so when we talk about him today in our lives, we can stand true on the promise that he will return, that he will call us sons and daughters of the Most High King, that he will call us his own, and that we are loved and cherished by him. And so today, whatever you're going through, whatever you're struggling with in this time, remember that Jesus is the truth.